North Korean official Kim Yong Chol has just arrived in the U.S. at New York's JFK International Airport. This is the Air China flight that he came in on. He's expected to work with the White House to negotiate talks between President Trump and Kim Jong Un. CBS News State Department reporter Kylie Atwood is on the phone with us now. Kylie, what's on the agenda for Kim Yong Chol this afternoon?
So this will be Kim Yong Chol's third time meeting with Secretary Pompeo, but it'll be their first meeting here in the U.S. The two previous meetings were in Pyongyang, and clearly they didn't figure out all of the details regarding the proposed June 12th North Korea U.S. summit that's planned to take place in Singapore. So they have a lot of work to do in terms of figuring out what's on the agenda and if that meeting is actually going to happen. The U.S. says that, yes, indeed, despite a letter that Trump wrote last week to Kim Jong Un canceling the summit, that it's back on, that there are preparations underway. But this meeting will really solidify that. And I think we'll know a lot more after this meeting in terms of if it'll actually take place on June 12th, which is, as I said, the proposed date.
And what more do we know about Kim Yong Chol? He is the highest-ranking North Korean official to visit the U.S. since 2000.
Yeah, so that's a long time, 18 years, that we have not seen someone of this high caliber come to meet a U.S. top official. And Kim Yong Chol, he's the vice chairman of North Korea's ruling party's Central Committee, but he's very well known in the U.S., not just for that role and for his close relationship to the Kim regime itself, but he was a former military intelligence chief for about 30 years. So he was a North Korean spy for 30 years. He's actually also believed to have masterminded the sinking of a South Korean Navy ship that happened in 2010, and it killed 46 people. So he has been someone who has been watched closely by the U.S. for years, and he is the person who has kind of been the top diplomat leading these U.S.-North Korea talks beyond Kim Jong Un.
Do we know why they are meeting, why he is meeting with Pompeo in New York City rather than in Washington, D.C.?
You know, to be honest with you, that is a question I've asked the State Department time and time again over the past few days, and they just won't say. Spokesperson Heather Nauert yesterday during the briefing said, listen, this is a North Korean official coming to the U.S. It's a long trip. It doesn't really matter if it's New York or D.C., but those who watch North Korea closely will say that they might have a different reaction to that. Obviously, they rolled out the red carpet for Secretary Pompeo when he visited Pyongyang. He met with Kim Jong-un, and that is not going to be the case with Kim Yong Chol. He is not meeting with Trump while he is in the U.S. He is just meeting with Pompeo. But Kim Yong Chol is under U.S. sanctions. Those sanctions clearly had to be lifted for him to make that visit. But it's no different coming to Washington, D.C. or New York. So the U.S. is clearly keeping him a little bit at distance from the Capitol here.
I just want to point out that there's law enforcement there where the plane is landed at JFK. Waiting for the passengers to come out. Kylie, I also want to ask you about what they're likely to discuss. I mean, clearly, since this is the second highest level visit since the Korean War to the U.S., there are clearly some important sticking points that can't be dealt with by lower level delegates. So what exactly will Pompeo and Jong Un be talking about? Do we know? Oh, wait, I just want to point out, sorry, before you answer that question, that we may see him on the screen there. It's hard to tell because we're at a sort of unusual vantage point, but he may be one of those gentlemen walking that you see on the screen right now. In fact, it's pretty likely. We don't.
And he's probably about to hop into a car and come in.
Yeah, exactly.
New York City.
They're not. We do not believe that they're going to say anything. But we do have a video.
Pretty incredible. And as we're watching him, walk off his plane and disembark into New York, Secretary Pompeo is actually meeting with President Trump at the White House right now. And we can expect that one of the things they're talking about is this meeting that will happen at some point today and tomorrow with Kim Yong Chol.
Right, absolutely. And to get back to that earlier question, do we know what exactly they're talking about? I mean, the complete denuclearization of North Korea is likely to be one of the points that they need to iron out. Is there anything else?
Yeah, so that is the U.S. Policy. That is also the U.S. dream, of course. Now, getting to that point is going to take a lot, and no one is saying right now that their eyes are completely rosy about the possibilities. There's still a lot of work to get from here to there, but Pompeo is the one who's going to be sitting down talking with Kim Yong Chol about what's on the agenda for Trump and Kim Jong-un's first meeting. We also have a U.S. team, White House logistics officials who are in Singapore doing, the nitty-gritty on where they'll meet and when they'll meet and what they'll eat for food, all that kind of stuff. And then there's another team of U.S. officials who have been in the DMZ meeting with other top North Korean officials to figure out other aspects of the agenda. So we'll hopefully be able to ask Pompeo at some point tomorrow about what they accomplished in this meeting.
And once again, we're just showing video of Kim Yong Chol leaving the Air China plane, presumably going to a car. Will he be whisked off to Manhattan and a meeting with Secretary Pompeo? Kylie Atwood in D.C., thank you.
Thank you.